So we believe it all happened right here. As the predator approached, he picked out his prey, came through here. You can see some remains. There's some feathers here, there's one here, some over here, and we believe it chased it through the front yard. This is the chicken's view. It came running, was running for its dear life, squawking and screaming the whole way. It was almost home. It made it over the rail. It came up the hen house, into the door. Got attacked by the rooster. Okay, folks, Nathan from KBL Texas Homestead. I want to welcome you back to the channel. Discuss what we're going to be doing today. So today, I'm on a mission of tracking this predator. The predator has struck again. We were out of town for a few days, got back home, felt bad about having the girls pinned up the whole time, so we cut them loose, let them free range, and they were free ranging all day. We went out to go find them in the evening time, put them up, and it was well before dark, about 4:30, and noticed that a few of the chickens were missing. So we went on a little hunt. By this time it started getting dark. Didn't get to do a whole lot, so we just called it off. But we did find one dead chicken and then feathers of all the chickens, but we never found the other two. So in total, we were missing 3 chickens. We found one dead one other big laying hen, and 2 of them were the laying hens that I just purchased for my wife not too long ago, and then a baby chick that we had bought and were raising, and she was almost 6 months old now, getting ready to be of laying age, and she come up missing. So today we're just gonna go through the chain of events and I'll show you what we found. So as I look around the chicken coop, this is in the run. There's plenty of evidence of mauled feathers, wet. Looked like the predator actually ran them in here, chased them around. Got a few feathers here, a few feathers here. But we're thinking he may have just come into the run, chased the chickens around, eventually ran them inside. We had the back doors closed, so once they were in, they would have been trapped. Now, I see a bunch of feathers inside the hen house, which very well could just be feathers that they shed and, you know, between themselves. But it does appear that it's a little more feathers than just your normal everyday wear and tear. So I'm thinking the predator chased the ones that are missing inside, and that's where he captured them. Now, having said that, you can see the door here. It ain't but maybe 10 inches tall, 12 inches wide. And the opening that this predator would have come through. So, if that scenario is true on how these chickens were attacked, you know, what fits through there? You know, I've been seeing coyotes on my game cameras. I've seen a bobcat with the naked eye during the day. Never on my property though, just my neighboring property, which is nothing but a little fence between us. But, you know, would a coyote fit through that door? I don't think so. But, you know, maybe it was. As far as inside the hen house, here's all the feathers I was talking about. You know, there's a lot of feathers just up on top that have not been worked in. That tells me they're fresh and they were all the colors of the birds that I'm missing. All back in here. You got the big Rhode Island red hen of mine is missing. No signs of her, but there's some feathers of hers there, some over there, and then I have the Sex Link and Rhode Island mix that has blacker feathers, darker feathers. There's some of her feathers there, some of her feathers there. And then the little brown and white Rhode Island red, she's got little feathers there. And then all the ones that I showed you out back. So we think that this might unfortunately have been a kill zone for them. Once they got in here, they were trapped, and whatever came through these doors just had its picking at them. So as you leave the chicken coop and you come out of the run door, there's some spent feathers right here blowing in the wind. We kind of followed them around here, and as you walk this way, we found one other spent feather, lonesome feather right there, and that's actually not a feather belonging to one of the three that are missing. That looks like one of my Dominique's black and white feathers, so I'm thinking possibly have been chased through here because they had been going back here and free ranging. Maybe they were chased out here and ran to the coop for safety, and that's where they were pinned up. But like I said, I'm not 100% sure. As I'm walking, I'm still finding new feathers. There's a feather there that I hadn't seen. Not sure still what is doing this. Then I'll show you real quick for those who watched the predator video. I had a game camera hanging right there that is not there anymore. I took it down because it wasn't picking up anything. So with all that being said, I still have no footage of this attack, and I don't know if you can see, but way back here on this little 4x4 there's another game camera, but that one I pulled the chip out of it because nothing's been happening over here, and I put them chips elsewhere. So it's just my luck that every time I go off of high alert and I start calming down, this predator strikes again. Then I have no footage of it, don't even get to see what it is, you know. And I think that's what ails me the most, is not knowing what is doing this. Like I said, we know there's a predator here. There's a few of them, you know, and that's part of living out here, guys. We know that, but nonetheless, it still doesn't get any easier when you lose animals, especially under your watch. You know, we were here, we were home, we were inside, and it happened, and we didn't even know it until it was too late. But so I'll give you a pano around. I've got this little patch of brushy area right here that backs right up to my chicken coop. I just haven't had time to clear it, and that's going to be moved to the priority list, or one of the priority lists, is getting this brush peeled back a little further, at least back to behind these two big pecan trees. That way it just makes it that much more difficult for the predator to sneak up on these animals. But having said all that, they were all back here free ranging in this area throughout the day. I just didn't find any feathers on where this attack might have happened. But as I walked back here, because this is a frequently visited area, you know, and I believe it's the pathway that these predators use to come in and out, I did find some evidence that they came through here with the chickens, that they did get away with. So let's walk back through here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So as we exit my property and into the drainage ditch, my wife came out and was the one that was actually looking for them and discovered all this late yesterday, and then brought me out. But right up in here, let me see now. Oh, okay, so right here just off the trail coming from our place. Follow the trail, comes around. You can kind of see some impressions in there. That was my wife. But one of the hens was laying right here in this water where it looks like the predator got spooked when my wife came out, dropped one of them, you know, and didn't double back for it. Just took off with the two he had. One full-grown hen and one baby, which really wasn't a baby. She was a teenager. But so I'm guessing that's what happened. Now, normally I can find a trail of where they came from, where they went, but this one has just kind of got me baffled. I don't see a whole lot of anything out here. I did find this lone pack of feathers here, which y'all can see them popping up pretty good on the video. That's my young teenage girl that was getting ready to start being of laying age. We were looking forward to that. We raised her up from a baby, and that's all her feathers right there. So looks like whatever it was started going to town on it first, the young one. There's some feathers there. There's another feather right there. But I don't see any feathers or any evidence leading up to that point. So I'm not sure which direction it came from, which I'm assuming this is my property here. They were in that thicket, so somewhere back there is where it happened. And then it was brought here, and they were spooked up while my wife came out. She made enough racket for whatever it was to spook and run off. All right, folks, so back here, you can see where my dog is at right here. We found some remains of another chicken, some feathers that have been plucked. It's a white bird, which I don't own any white birds, so I'm assuming it's my neighbor's. He has some white meat chickens, and he's been battling the same problem. Our predators are attacking both of our chickens. He likes to free range his as well as I do mine, and that's when they're attacking. Unfortunately for us, it's you know, it seems like every time we allow the birds to come out and do some free ranging is when they're getting attacked. So I guess we're just gonna have to stop letting them free range, but you know, it's hard. I like the birds to free range and be happy. They enjoy it. You can tell just by their body language and how they act. And if anybody has chickens, you'll know exactly what we're talking about. They're just happier birds. They produce better for us. They lay eggs. This winter, which we have very mild winters here in the Texas area, or South Texas area anyway, and you know, all winter I've still had egg production. My girls have been laying, but we do have a couple that had quit, and the two big ones that were nabbed last night were my two big production hens. Man, they laid some big beautiful eggs, and they were consistent every day. The third one that was a good layer was my olive egger, and she lays every other day, so which is still good, but she made it, so we still have her. Then my two Dominiques, they haven't been laying at all during the winter months, so we're hoping that they will start. If not, they're gonna be meat birds. But then I've got one of the babies that is coming of age, and hopefully she'll start laying. But nonetheless, we'll see what happens. All right, folks. I know Riley got the exclusive on this. I commented on a video of her sick rooster last night that she posted, and told her about the chickens, so she knew that I lost a couple of birds, or a few birds, and like I said, she got the exclusive, Riley, so you got the exclusive on it. But I'm gonna drop this video tonight, just giving everybody a rundown of what happened, and hopefully we can catch this predator, and I can show you that video, which I've been saying for a while now. I know she said I kind of left her hanging I just didn't have no real good footage to show about the predator, the situation, or anything different, so I ain't posted any more updates on the predators. But this one will come up this evening, and then we'll go from there. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Continue watching, continue liking, continue commenting, and continue subscribing. Hope y'all enjoy.